But Meghan has also done a tell-all interview with CBS. She talks here about her barely scraping the surface of how bad she felt during her time in the royal family.
When you've been through any level of pain or trauma, I believe part of our healing journey, certainly part of mine, is being able to be really open about it. And I haven't really scraped the surface on my experience, but I do think that I would never want someone else to feel that way. And I would never want someone else to be making those sort of plans, and I would never want someone else to not be believed. So if me voicing what I have overcome will save someone.
Kinsey, why are we revisiting this all over again? It really does feel like deja vu all over again.
Look, I think a cynical person might look at the amount of attention that the King and Kate have received over their cancer diagnosis and wonder why Meghan Markle is bringing up an incident that occurred 5 years ago during such a turbulent time health-wise for her in-laws. I have had friends that reached out to me and said, Catherine has cancer, and she's talking about this again. If the objective is to put a spotlight on children that are no longer with us because of online bullying, I feel like a much more powerful message would be to focus on those families. Meghan Markle was suicidal in a castle and fled to America, where she lives with 2 beautiful babies, rescue chickens, and palm trees that hold hands in a Montecito mansion. She has a loving husband. She survived. She's thriving. These parents go to bed every night with empty beds and bedrooms where their children used to sleep. I think it's wildly inappropriate to make an interview like that about yourself. You will not see the Princess of Wales do a sit-down interview and laugh and smile her way through a cancer conversation. She might take up pediatric cancer causes, and she might spotlight stories of children that touch her deeply, but she is not going to mic up and sit in front of a camera and try to garner sympathy for herself. Harry and Meghan not only lack credibility, but they lack self-awareness, and I can't imagine what a nightmare from hell it must be to work for these two.
Well, it's probably why they've got such a high turnover of staff. Now let's talk a little bit of politics. Beyonce and Jay-Z have always been political. Well, they have been political for quite a few years now. And that's only going to intensify with Beyonce giving Kamala Harris permission to use all her songs in her presidential campaign. And she is set to donate a sizable amount herself. And could we see her hitting the campaign trail, perhaps, Kinsey? She seems to be very invested in having Kamala Harris become president.
Well, we do expect her to fundraise for Kamala. Will that be like Megan Thee Stallion and taking the stage and singing something and appearing at a larger event, an actual campaign event? I think that that's likely at this point in time. I do think that there's an air of desperation in being associated with this candidate. And again, I've said I think we'll see Meghan jump on the trail as well in some way, shape, or form. If Beyonce is fundraising, perhaps that's where Meghan slides in. She's a huge fan. We saw her attend 2 of her concerts in LA. But fundraising is what we know for sure to expect when it comes to Beyonce and Kamala's campaign.
Do you think it will have any sort of impact? The Democrats always get the celebrity class. They've got Hollywood. They get the big stars. It did them no good in 2016. I don't think there was barely a single A-lister who was bold enough to come out for Trump. This time around, it's a bit different. There are athletes and some stars who are saying we're voting for Trump. But does anyone care? Does anyone care that most celebrities are Democrats who lean left and who back Kamala Harris?
Yeah, I mean, think about Hillary Clinton on stage with Katy Perry, Ariana Grande. Biden had Lady Gaga. I think as long as Trump continues to hammer home lower gas prices, lower groceries, I'm going to wipe out our immigration issues. He has to continue to focus on what appeals to a normal person, because Lady Gaga isn't upset when her cards declined at the gas station. Katy Perry isn't having issues at the grocery store. And I think if he focuses on what's really affecting everyday people, that the message will continue to be heard loud and clear.
I think you're 100% right. I think sometimes they can actually be counterproductive, these celebrity endorsements. Kinsey Schofield, thank you so much for your time.